He's accused of nothing less than a murder. Murder of a man and was in fact arrested after a lot of hue and cry and put in bail. Then came the visuals of actor Darshan chilling in jail as if he was sitting in his own drawing room, having a cup of coffee, smiling, looking at people, enjoying as if this is a luxury resort where he has come to spend some time with himself. Relax. There were video calls with his fans which were going viral. And even after all that, he was given bail. The Supreme Court today cancelled the bail for actor Darshan. The Supreme Court slammed the VVIP treatment which was being given to this actor. The Supreme Court said that the High Court bail order is perverse. It does not, in fact, uphold the majesty of the law. And the Supreme Court then also said that it reiterated that no one is above the law. It's a huge rebuke in such cases as far as the privilege is concerned. Just take a look at this. The court said, why did the court cancel this bail for the actor? Serious, heinous nature of the offense. He's accused of orchestrating a murder. And even then he gets such lenient, and kid glove kind of a treatment. Evidence indicates premeditated crime. The Supreme Court also said that the accused engaged in destruction of evidence. What else do you need to keep him behind bars? The court said accused used police influence to derail the probe. He thought his status as a superstar will get him some brownie points. The police will work on his whims and fancies. The court said no one exempt from the legal accountability and sent a very strong message this evening. No exemption by virtue of the status of the accused. If you are an actor and you think that everybody is beneath you, no sir, the law is the same for you. All persons are equally subjected to the law. That's the underline in fact of this very important order of the Supreme Court, which will be used as a precedent in many other cases as well. And if you are wondering why the court was so harsh on this actor, let me just tell you the case that he is accused in. Renukaswamy from Chitradurga was tortured and murdered on June 8, 2024. And in this very case, Renukaswamy's body was found with injuries on June 9th in 2024. 4 people surrendered claiming responsibility on June 10th. On June 11th, actor Darshan, another actor Pavithra Gowda, they were arrested in Mysuru. And let me also tell you then in August 2024, there were leaked photographs showing actor Darshan enjoying in prison, chilling. I showed you those visuals. I'll play them again in a while for you. Despite the arrest, making video calls from within the confines of the prison. The Bengaluru Police filed a 3,991-page charge sheet as far as this case is concerned. Later, Darshan got 6 weeks in October 2024. He got a 6-week interim bail on medical grounds. Then, the High Court also granted bail to Darshan and Pavithra Gowda on December 3rd, 2024. This was challenged. The Supreme Court issued notices to Darshan and others on January 2025. And then, in May 2025, Darshan requests the court to approval to go abroad for work. Somebody's life has been taken, but my life should go on as it was because I am a celebrity. The Supreme Court then, on 17th July 2025 and later on July 24, 2025, Supreme Court said that the High Court's decision prima facie is perverse. It should not have given them the bail. Darshan, Pavithra filed submissions for continuing bail on August 2025. And then on 14th August 2025, the Supreme Court cancelled bail for actor Darshan, saying that no one is above law. I just once again want to play out those visuals again of this man smiling, sitting inside the prison. This is inside the prison with his lackeys sitting around him, chilling with a cup of coffee. Remember, he's the man behind, the brain behind, accused behind the murder of an innocent man. And after that, he has the gumption to tell the court, I want to go abroad for shooting, for work. Let's first listen in to the family of the victim, which has welcomed the Supreme Court's decision.
Darshan ಅವರ ಬೇಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರದ್ದಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಂತ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆತಂಕ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ತನಿಖೆ ಅಂತಂದು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಂತೆ ನ್ಯಾಯವಾದಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ನ್ಯಾಯಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಬೇಲ್ ರದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪರಾಧಿ ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ
All right, let me very quickly go across to my colleagues, those who are joining me at this moment. Deepak is joining us from Bengaluru. Nupur was tracking this case here in the national capital. Nupur, coming to you very quickly first. This case and the court's order is very important. It is going to be used as a precedence in many cases to come. The court once again underlining, no matter what your status is, you are a dwarf in front of the law of the land.
Well, yes, Ankit, this is in fact a very, in fact, a landmark judgment in that sense that the Supreme Court now has not only cancelled the bail but has also used its extraordinary powers in directing that, first of all the 7 people who have been granted bail should surrender immediately, and it has went on to say that if it finds out that any 5-star treatment is being meted out to any of them, if any such picture surfaces again in front of the Supreme Court, it will not let this go easily. It will take a serious note of the same and will in fact direct suspension for police officers responsible for this kind of 5-star treatment to people of power and big stature in the society. The Supreme Court said that law, in eyes of law, everyone is equal. Law is equal for all, and no one can expect to be treated in such a way, and they will have to ultimately abide by the law. And if actor Darshan is surrendering today, the Supreme Court said that he's not doing us a favor. This is the right. This is the right in the country. This is a democracy, and he will have to, in fact, not only surrender but also go through the trial, through the trial process. The Supreme Court also, on the other hand, took a very dim view in the way High Court, Karnataka High Court has dealt with this case, the way it has granted bail, it has heard witnesses, cross-examined witnesses,
Yes.
which should have been done by the trial court. So this is in fact a very big development and a big judgment in itself.
As I said, it is going to be, and Nupur also underlined it, a landmark judgment that will be a precedent in many cases to come, in future. Deepak, as far as the actor is concerned, has he surrendered? And number two, because we saw some visuals just a short while back of a vehicle in which he's apparently sitting, going, for the said surrender. But Deepak, the question also, a big question also remains on the prison authorities and the policemen, possibly those who colluded with this actor to give him a VVIP treatment. What is the government saying about that?
Well, the biggest news of the day is law has caught up. However high and mighty Darshan thought he was, while people thought, well, the powerful always get away, this particular order of the Supreme Court has come as a welcome relief to everybody. It has reassured not just the family of Renukaswamy, because the father there clearly says, my faith in the judiciary has been reinforced with this judgment, and that's exactly what it has done to thousands of people who continue to fight against the high and mighty. There are several cases that the common man are dealing with, and they believe today that, well, the courts are there to protect their interests, and if there is injustice that's being done, the court will rectify that. Procedures right now going on. He was formally arrested from the Hosakerehalli, house. That's where his wife and his son were. He visited. that particular place, and the police, of course, taking him from there, then to the police station, medical checkups. The formality continues, and producing before the court, and eventually, of course, back in jail. And that is something that many of them wondered, will it ever happen again? Because usually when you have the powerful who are sent to prison and then get out on bail, then that's the end of the story. That means that they're never probably going to go back. But now it has been set right, and the court has, like you said, made some stinging observations about how VIP treatment was given to him. He just didn't have a cup of coffee in his hand. He had a cigarette as well inside the prison, and seated there casually along with his aides as if he had done nothing wrong. But right now, all of that comes to an end. The court will, of course, take a decision which, prison he goes back to. The administration as well can take a call if they want to shift him for whatever reasons they deem fit. But the news of the day, Darshan going back to prison.
And whether he's guilty or not, that is for the courts to decide. But for that judgment, Darshan will have to go through the process as any other person in this country. Your VIP status is behind those walls of the prison. Your VIP status, in fact, ceases to exist once you decide to take law in your own hands, and then you will be treated with the full force of the law. As Deepak was saying, it's heartening to see once again the court reinforcing that the law is the same for every person. Deepak, Nupur, thank you so much for joining me. But Deepak, I request you to stay on with me. We would like to, in fact, at this moment, play out a reaction. Our colleague Veer Raghav caught up with actor Ramas on this entire incident.
Now is Ramya, actor who has taken on Darshan's fans and had filed a complaint. Ma'am, what's your first reaction to the fact that the Supreme Court has cancelled the bail order and said no VIP treatment to anyone in the courts in India?
It's a relief, and it reaffirms your faith in the justice system. No matter how long and hard the process is, that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Strong order from the Supreme Court, finally, in terms of the case that you've taken up as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I kind of skimmed through the judgment. He came down heavily on the High Court, and also, they made observations about how he was just chilling in jail, and how that leeway was given to him. And I'm glad that, they've gone through it in detail and they've made these observations. And I think it sends out a really strong message, Veer, that, no one is above the law. Everyone's equal. And that, there is justice, and it will be served.
Deepak continues to be with me. Deepak, has there been any at least intent by the government of Karnataka to take action against the policeman or the prison official, those who were giving him such a lenient treatment? He was able to make video calls from behind the prison walls. He was able to get that coffee, cigarette. It was almost, Darshan's darbar inside the prison.
Well, not just Darshan. The Parapanagara prison, of course, has been infamous for giving VIP treatment. Be it the case of Sasikala several years ago while she was lodged here in the Parapanagara prison. We should also remember Telgi was also somebody who was at the Parapanagara prison. There were several reports that, high-profile prisoners were given VIP treatment. There have been constant raids as well that continue to take place where you find mobile phones. You've seen people even do reels inside the prison. So this is a perennial problem, and assurances have come in time and again after such instances come to the fore, even after the Darshan case. But there needs to be a true cleansing of prisons, not just in Bengaluru but across the country. So that is something that's a deep-rooted problem within the system that needs to be fixed. Hopefully when he goes back to prison this time, he's not given any sort of VIP treatment, because that's something that the Supreme Court particularly pointed out as well.
Deepak, thank you so much for joining me with all those details.